Okay, hi. So today we're going to be talking about my Blackathon TBR. So Blackathon is a readathon hosted by Jesse from Bow Ties and Books all through the month of February. I will leave the link to their video because there's a lot going on. There are different teams. There of genre teams. It's happening on YouTube. There's vlogging that you can participate in. There's Instagram stuff you could participate in. There's Netflix parties you could participate in. There's a lot going on. And I'm not going to regurgitate it all. You could just watch their video. There's also different collaborators on the different teams and on Instagram and all of that. So I suggest you check it out. I am loosely joining a team. But I'm going to be reading across genres. So there's Team SFF, Team Thriller Horror Mystery, Team Literature Contemporary Nonfiction, and Team Romance. I have been in kind of a reading, I don't want to call it a reading slump. I haven't been super into picking books up. I've been doing other things instead, which is fine. But when I have been gravitating towards books, it's been romance and nonfiction. So I'm assuming that's going to kind of continue into the month of February, so that's going to be a lot of my reading. And then I have some classics and a mystery read that I don't know what it's going to be yet. So let's get into it. So we'll start with my buddy reads. So because it's the month of February, Mariama and I from Mariama Moss Books, I'll link her below, are going to be doing a buddy read of the is it technically the Brown Sister trilogy? So Get a Life, Chloe Brown, Take a Hint, Dani Brown, and Act Your Age, Eve Brown. So I'm very excited to do this because I am very much in the romance mood right now. So we will be doing that in the month. And then I am also doing a buddy read with Shelley at Shelley Swearingen. Shelley at... I'm being tongue-tied by Shelley's name. Shelley Swearingen is her channel name. Her name is Shelley. I can't say those two things back to back. Can't say Shelley twice in a row, but we're going to be reading Beloved. I have never read any Toni Morrison before. I'm very excited. I feel like just from how people talk about her books, I'm really going to love it. And love her writing, but I also have this fear that I have it built up in my head too much, but regardless, I'm very excited to get into some Toni Morrison. So then, some of my reading is going to be more based on my reading intentions for the year. So one of my reading intentions is to read books, classics or older fiction, kind of from around the world or lesser known ones. So obviously Beloved wouldn't really count. It's very well known. So I have a few African classics. So the first one is So Long a Letter. This is, I believe, translated from the French, and it was originally published in 1980. Says, considered a classic of contemporary African women's literature, So Long a Letter is a must-read for anyone interested in African literature and the passage from colonialism to modernism in a Muslim country. So that is on my list. Another one on my list is Our Sister Killjoy. Is this one translated? No, it doesn't look like this is in translation, but I just looking through and glancing at how the pages look, there are some pages that don't really have anything on them, and a lot that are a bit longer. This kind of looks like it's in a poetry format. So I'm interested to kind of see what this is. Just looking through it, it seems like it's it's playing with prose and form a little bit. And then I have God's Bits of Wood, which... Oh, I forgot to say, Our Sister Killjoy was published in 1977, and God's Bits of Wood was published in 1960. And it looks like this one might be translated from the French too, but it doesn't actually have a translator on it. But it does, the premise is in 1947 to 1948, the workers on the Dakar-Niger Railway came out on strike. The author in this vivid and moving novel evinces all of the color, passion, and tragedy of those decisive years in the history of West Africa. So that is on my list. I don't know if I'll get to all 3 of those, but I'm going to prioritize trying to get to at least 2. So those would be the classics I want to read. Now, I also had a goal for the year of, I made a 22 nonfiction books I want to read in 2022, and I do want to get to at least 2 of them in February, and I'll list 3 because I haven't decided which of the 2 I'm going to read. Okay, the first one is Our Prison's Obsolete by Angela Davis. This one's just been on my radar for a while. I am interested in reading more nonfiction about the prison industrial system and kind of the philosophy. I think this one goes more into the philosophical idea of it, though I might be wrong. I read The New Jim Crow a few years ago and just found it really profound and really well researched and executed as a nonfiction novel. So just having something a companion to that, so I can keep kind of diving into that ideology. And then the next nonfiction I want to read is Medical Apartheid: The Dark History of Medical Experimentation on Black Americans from Colonial Times to Present. I've heard that this is a very dark read, and to kind of take it slowly, because it is very devastating what has been done in Western culture and in America to Black bodies, in the name of science. So I would like to read that as well. And then the third one that I'm almost definitely going to be reading Medical Apartheid. It's the other 2 that I'm toying with which one I want to prioritize. That other one would be Pushout, the criminalization of Black girls in schools. I like that, nonfiction typically has taglines or subtitles, because then it kind of gives you all the explanation of what the book is trying to accomplish, and I don't really want to talk about what all these books are trying to do because I like to go into my books blind. So those are the 3 nonfiction I am going to choose from, and then I want to prioritize another book from my shelf written by a Black author. So I came up with a list. I'm going to hopefully put it on the screen, and I'm going to roll my D20. Hard to see. I'm not able to, yep. This is my D20. For Christmas, my partner and I bought each other a really nice dice set, and this is the one I picked out for myself. It never rolls high so far, so I've been getting crap rolls with them, but I still love them. Watch, this is when I get my 20, so I'm just going to roll it, and I'm not going to do that video thing. That looks nice, so. Okay, I have no idea if you'll be able to see this, but I got a 2. Can you see it? This might be the best I'm getting. You can see it, yeah. So I got a 2, which is Kintu. Oh wow, that's a long one. I told you I rolled low. That's just the way these roll. I never roll 20s or anything. So I have had this on my shelves for years. I'm actually happy this came up, even though it's a thick one. It is an intergenerational novel that takes place over the course of multiple generations, I believe. I have convinced myself that I really like intergenerational novels, but then I never end up picking them up because really, in order for these to be successful, but in my experience, the ones that are the most successful are very long because you have a lot that you're trying to cover. Timeline, characters, you're developing a lot of things. So this has been on my shelves for years and I keep putting it off. So I guess this is going to make me prioritize it. So yeah, that'll be my last book. Now we can see if any of my books actually match the prompts. Okay, so we're in the Team Literature Contemporary Nonfiction. Book 1, A book that explores the duality of blood and found family. I mean, this is about family, so that has the potential to, but it might just be like intensely like their blood relation family. This is more about the conflicts between Africa and Europe, so I don't think that that's going to be as much of a plot point here. It doesn't seem like this one's going to be, neither this one. Okay, I don't have anything on my TBR that I think would cover this, but I will recommend a book that I read recently called Memoirs of a Porcupine. This is translated from the French, and I believe that the author was originally from the Congo, I think. It's like this man has a double, like an animal double that is a porcupine, but it's like there, I don't remember the exact wording, but it's like an evil double, and the porcupine is kind of like presenting the memoir of the man that he was the double to's life. And I think that you could kind of read this as the porcupine kind of being found family in a way to the man. And then there is like his relation to his father and his mother and like the places that he lives and the people around him. He has a harder time fitting in, so it's not as much found family for him. But this was a really good read. I would recommend it if you're looking for something for that prompt. Number 2, a book that is not set in the US, UK, or Canada. Okay, yeah, so this takes place in Uganda. I believe this one takes place in Senegal. That is where the author is from. The author for this book is also from Senegal. Yeah, this one just generally says it talks about the history of West Africa. And the author of this is from Ghana, but I believe parts, if not all of it, take place in Europe. Okay, 3rd, a book with neon on the cover. I mean, like what is neon? Like just a bright color? I would say these, like, I mean, it's not, well, it's more dark than it's coming up on here, but that's pretty neon. I'll call these neon for my sake. Although those are romances, and I'm looking at the contemporary literature nonfiction section. So I don't think I have any contemporary, I don't think I have any of those genres. Like, that's not really neon. So, and a lot of these are like, have bright colors on them, but aren't neon, like not super intensely bright. And then there's a group book that I am not going to be reading. Yeah, so I think that that's all I have for this video. Let me know if you're participating and what books you're reading. That's all I got. So until next time, happy reading.